The Matrix is one of the greatest movies of all time, as its visual effects were truly innovative and its pop culture impact can still be felt today, almost 30 years later. I mean, you still hear people talking about being red-pilled or blue-pilled, and countless movies have tried to imitate the bullet time special effect. But I would make the argument that looking at the film franchise as a whole, The Matrix is proper shit. Out of the 3 Matrix sequels that we got, not a single one is a good movie. The Matrix Reloaded comes the closest to being halfway decent, but in comparison to the original, well, there is no comparison. However, if you're a massive fan of the groundbreaking original Matrix movie, and like me have been disappointed by every attempt at a sequel, then there is still hope for you. Because the Lego Movie, in spirit, is the Matrix sequel that we always wanted. You see, the Lego Movie is basically the child-friendly version of The Matrix. Emmett and Neo are both regular guys living their mundane lives inside of a fake reality, and both are the chosen one of their respective world, and it ends up being their destiny to save everyone. The piece of resistance is even red, just like the pill that opens your eyes to reality in The Matrix. And the one-to-one comparisons don't stop there. Wildstyle is essentially Trinity. She's a badass fighter who dresses in black. Vitruvius is kind of like Morpheus. The tunnels used to escape into other worlds are used pretty similarly to how phones are in The Matrix. The think tank is like the human battery field. Cloud Cuckoo Land is essentially Zion. And even though it comes off as kind of basic and entry level, I actually think the Everything is Awesome song gives us some great commentary on conformity and the importance of individuality. Because while embracing a positive outlook can be beneficial, blindly accepting everything as awesome can stifle creativity and critical thinking. Similarly to The Matrix, I feel like it forces us to ask ourselves, if you're living a dream, are you truly living? Because life isn't always awesome, and that's what makes it worth living. If it wasn't for pain and sadness, you wouldn't be able to truly feel joy and happiness. And can a simulation with a predetermined destiny, role, and outcome truly give you everything that life is supposed to? I could go on, but I think you probably see the similarities between the 2 movies at this point. Now you might be thinking to yourself that thus far I'm laying out an argument that the Lego Movie simply ripped off The Matrix, and I know a few other content creators have made videos about why they're secretly the same movie, but the reason I instead view the Lego Movie as a spiritual sequel to The Matrix is because it further examines the quote-unquote villain of the film. In The Matrix, we're simply told that the machines were man-made and eventually won a war with humanity and enslaved most people into the Matrix. And while some of the sequels attempt to explore the machines a bit further, I don't think they do it in very narratively satisfying ways. And the 2 direct sequels got far too Agent Smith focused when it came to the antagonist side of things. Whereas, the Lego Movie gives us a phenomenal examination of its antagonist, and why they're trying to release the Kraggle. Because when Emmett reaches the real world, we get a genuinely heart-wrenching scene. I mean, for this father to realize that his hobby has creatively stifled his son's ability to have fun and use his imagination is really powerful and recontextualizes everything that took place in the movie. Emmett is representative of this father's son, because this dad just wants his son to do exactly as he says and to not think outside the box. But that's not fun. Life is not lived inside of a tiny little box, and that's what makes it so fulfilling. And me being someone with OCD who also collects figures and whatnot, but also hopes to be a father one day, this ending hit me really hard. This son is just trying to emulate his dad. He sees everything his father has built and wants to build himself. He's inspired by his father. But his dad can't see it because he's too fixated on the fact that his son is changing what he's already built. And this is such a beautiful analogy for fatherhood in general, because you work your entire life to build your life in a certain way, but when you have a kid, it changes everything. And in a perfect world, they'll continue what you've built and make it their own. They'll fundamentally better and change you, even if it seems odd or weird to you at first. And this father's revelation is genuinely a better examination of an antagonist than we ever got in any Matrix film. I'm not saying outright that the Lego Movie is better than the first Matrix. I don't personally believe that, But I will say that I also don't think it'd be a massive hot take to claim that it is in fact a better movie. But regardless of which of these two great films you personally think is better, I view the Lego Movie as a spiritual sequel because it plays in a very similar sandbox with a very comparable setting, but it does something new with the formula by giving us a unique ending that examines and reforms the forces responsible for the simulation our main characters are living in. And in my opinion, a really great sequel should do just this. It should take the world and format of the original film and then push things even further by adding a new wrinkle to the fold. Whether that be examining the villain further, kind of like Empire Strikes Back did, or forcing our lead character to question everything they stand for, like Spider-Man 2 did. Or simply adding higher stakes and more intense action like Aliens or Terminator 2 did. Now, obviously, I don't think Phil Lord and Christopher Miller intentionally went into the scripting process for the Lego Movie and thought to themselves, hey, let's make a secret sequel to The Matrix. I don't think that was the intention. But the beautiful thing about art is that it is meant to be interpreted, and the way I choose to interpret the Lego Movie is that it shows us an alternate version of a Matrix simulation, and provides us with a story that is a far more satisfying Matrix-style film than Reloaded, Revolutions, or Resurrections were. Well, if you made it this far, I'd love to hear your take on the Lego Movie, and if you see the parallels it has to the groundbreaking initial Matrix film. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe for more Screen Stories content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.